Hello, Facebook Live. Welcome to another Collaborate to Win, the only buying group for interior designers offering stocking dealer pricing. It's a Facebook Live Thursdays at 1 o'clock where I share product knowledge. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'm going to share with you a story of how I even started going down this path. So creating a buying group for interior designers became important to me after this experience. This is just like probably the catalyst, I would say, that kind of sparked this need that I felt was one I had. I was hearing it from other designers too. So this became like my passion project of solving this issue. So every week we come and we talk about product knowledge. So this is product knowledge because when I was working with a client, we had something go terribly wrong because of a product. And so I'm just going to tell you the story that happened. So this was quite a few years back now. And it was, so I just started my business, and this was like one of my very first ideal clients. She was great. She has a big house in my town, where I know almost no one because I'm a transplant from another state, and I don't have kids in the school system. So, you wind up not knowing a lot of people. So, but she does. She owns several businesses, this client. She has a large family with lots of kids in the school system. So she's very well connected and known. So fantastic project, huge house, great budget. She really let me stretch my legs creatively. I got to do some really cool different stuff. She was open to all of it. And she was also very busy because she is a business owner running businesses. So it was, I would say, 95% text only. If you called her, if any of my contractors or anybody called her, you would hear it because she didn't have time for phone calls. She was text only. So that's how she wanted to communicate. So I would, she gave me the code to the house. I would go in, get stuff, set up for her so that she didn't have to take a day off from work or a morning or whatever. So it was a great relationship. And we worked for about a year together, getting her house, each room, lots of furniture and accessories and paint color and, work on the trim. And, so we did a lot of work. So towards the end of our relationship working together, we're down to like the final little things. And now she's talking about needing her basement redone. Some of the kids' rooms needed some finishing touches, and we needed a chandelier for the foyer. So we're getting towards the end of the project. So at this point, I'm going to furniture stores to buy things, which is not the way you make money. And I kind of knew that, but I didn't know how else to do it, right? So I go to try to go about it in a different way. So I said, okay, well, we found a new chandelier that we liked for the foyer. It's from Schoenbeck. I had their catalog. And so based in New Jersey, there's the New York showrooms. Those are the places of go-to for designers, generally speaking, right? The D&D building and 200 Lex. So those are supposed to be designer friendly, right? It's supposed to be a trade resource where we go, we can touch it, we can feel it, we can buy it from them for a good price, right? And get our clients the things that they need. Oh, if only that were true. So with this really great client, I showed her just the right fixture that would work for her. Size-wise, color, we picked everything out. Showed her a picture one day. She's always on a run, so she's like, yeah, get me the price, and I'll get you a check, whatever. So I call the showroom in New York. I get a price. I make sure I know this is not retail, right? This is my price. Yes, this is your price. This is your designer price. Okay, so designers usually mark up 30% on what they purchase. So I marked it up 30%. And I came back to her with the number, and I told her ahead of time, Schoenbeck is high end. This is one of the top manufacturers of lighting. It's not going to be cheap. This is an expensive piece, but it's going to be stunning. So, she said, well, what is it? So I don't remember what the price was. This was quite a few years ago. So she says, all right, let me think about it. So she goes to a lighting store nearby, Capital Lighting, and I think they're nationwide, and finds it for less than what my designer price was. Less than my designer price. So of course, if I take what my price is and put a markup on it, that's an outrageous price to give to a client now. So it threw her off so badly because it just brought into question every single piece of furniture we had ever bought together, everything. She wasn't like ravingly angry, but I could tell she was not trusting me anymore. Now, this is a woman that could have given me so many referrals. And so aside from the fact that I'm not going to get the chandelier order, which big deal, that wasn't what I was upset about. I'm upset that I've been lied to by a showroom who's supposed to have my back and tell me what my real prices are so that I can actually sell their product and make a living doing that, right? Oh, so she's angry. I'm explaining that I don't understand why she's getting such a good price and that this is what I was told and I will look into it and I'm really sorry. And so you can buy it from them. I'm not going to get upset about that. But now she's questioning my ability as a designer to be able to provide her with accurate information, rightfully so, because I really believed them. I thought that they would be honest because it's the New York showrooms. So I did not get to help her with her basement, which she eventually did. I did not get to finish the children's rooms or the finishing touches for anything. I don't think that we left it in a bad place, but it wasn't now I'm going to refer you to all of my friends who live on this amazing street in this area where, honestly, I should be designing all of these homes. So I'm not getting the referrals, and I look bad. This was the catalyst for me saying, okay, so what's up with sourcing product? Like, why is this so difficult? If I go to a furniture store and I only make 10%, it's really not enough for the amount of work and responsibility and liability that you take on. 10% is not enough. Then if I go to a showroom where I'm supposed to make 20 to 30%, because I'm supposed to be getting it at a wholesale price where you can mark it up, and they're not being honest with me, well, then what do you do? So at that point, that's the point where I said, okay, I've worked for furniture stores and I know that they go to High Point every year, twice a year. So that's the point where I said, I'm going to go to High Point. So I got my badge. I went down. The High Point is huge. If you haven't gone, it's amazing. They call it the Mecca of furniture and design for a reason. It's an entire city just dedicated to showing the new product so that you can sit in it, feel it, and buy it, for designers, for furniture, stores, all of that. So I go down and I started opening accounts. And to do that, I had to be like a CIA integrity. Oh, I can't say that word. So suddenly I've got like the heat lamp, and I'm like, all right, so tell me what the real pricing is. No, okay, you're not going to tell me what the real pricing is. All right, so I see on the tag here that you've got 3 different. So what does it take to do this? And I kept getting to run around with, well, you're only a designer. If you don't have a showroom, you can't fill in the blank. You're only a designer, you could, so this kind of stuff is what I kept coming up against. So I learned, like, you have to ask like 5 to 7 questions and really pin them down and not let them escape or distract you with something shiny to get the real story, to get the real answer. So it turns out that in order to get the best pricing, which is called stocking dealer, you have to do a minimum opening order of, generally speaking, $5,000 to $10,000 to start a relationship. And then to keep that going, every year you need to do usually, sometimes it's 10, like if it's an accessory line. 20 is very common for a minimum, and 50,000 for some higher end. That's a lot for an interior designer to do. But my next client, I did it. For CR Lane, I was able to open the account, but the next year was tough. The next year I was like, okay, I've got, a lot of window treatments coming in, or some other type of job where they don't necessarily need the sofa and chair that would get me where I need to be with CR Lane. So that's when the buying group was born. And it's enabled me to help other interior designers dealing with this. And it's become just such a wonderful tool for people because we share our price lists. It's up for everyone to see. Because what I learned was when I just call and ask the showroom for a price, they are emailing me a price. So I'm never seeing a price list. So I can't prove if that's a retail price, if that's a designer price, if that's wholesale, if that's stocking dealer. And there are even levels in between those sometimes. And some companies will call things like, they come up with their own names so that you really are confused, and they make it confusing on purpose. So they'll call it, well, this is diamond and this is sapphire and that's ruby. So what does that mean? Well, you're at ruby pricing. Okay, so is that good? Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, well, what's diamond pricing? Oh, you heard about diamond pricing. Oh, okay, well, you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to get diamond pricing. Okay, so that's the better pricing? Oh, okay. So it's like a series of questions that you have to ask. Like it's sad. It's sad that we can't just trust, but we can't. We have to see it in black and white. Some websites have logins where you can see what the prices are. That's great. I've even had sales reps since I've been doing the buying group, even, I hate to say lie, but not tell the truth or admit to playing games with designers all the time. And it's something that the industry just allows. They do not think of interior designers as professional business owners. They would never treat a man this way. Let's face it, most interior designers are women, and we're not respected in the business world, generally speaking. That's changing, absolutely, but not fast enough. The old boys club of furniture stores, that's still existing. And I had a good conversation with somebody who we were trying to open an order with at a furniture manufacturer this week. And it was a woman on the phone. And I told her, you're missing out if you don't buy from, in a better way. Designers aren't going to go to a retail store to buy product because we will never make any money doing that. We have to take on so much time, so much liability, to make almost no money, because if that store does give us a little commission, it's not enough. Thank you, Lynn. She says very true. And thank you, everybody, for joining. I see I've got Andrea, Lenore, Lynn, Lisa, and Julie. Thank you guys for watching. And Andrea says, glad you're addressing this. Yeah, this is the reason it started, because I was lied to. And I had a great client that could have resulted in me getting so much more work. I mean, the section of town that she lives in, seriously, I want every house in that development. I should be like at least picking their paint color. So, it's tuition. When you learn something, you just have to say, all right, I learned it. That was tuition. I'm doing it a better way now. So anyway, so back to the story about this one manufacturer. And we're all like, ooh, we would love to have that. So the woman on the phone says, I agree with you. And things are changing. And I'm hoping that the higher ups see that. And I even said old boys club, and she laughed because she knew exactly what I was talking about. The woman has to deal with it all day long, right? So, yeah. I think that as more and more retailers suffer, get smaller, go out of business, that kind of thing, the designer is stepping up and saying, well, why don't you give us a try for a change? How about you let us sell your product at a decent price? And more, they're saying, you know what? Yes, we're going to give you a shot, because we have about 100 members across the whole US. So we have buying power and we're growing. So we're still trying to get new vendors. We're still trying to get new members. We're open to all these things. And I think that in a couple years, designers will be taken a lot more seriously. But I just couldn't believe this New York showroom that's supposed to be trade only, that's supposed to like support the designer. That's your reason for existing. And I get that you have to make money. I totally understand that. New York sales, retail space, I heard one of the showrooms was paying $50,000 a month for their retail showroom space. I don't know how anyone could make that happen, no matter what you're selling. I mean, maybe if you got like Ferrari in there, you could say, yeah, sure, we're going to make that, no problem. But yeah, so I get that they need to make money, but they don't seem to understand that we need to make money. And I've had plenty of sales reps tell me, well, you don't need to make a profit on the product you sell. You charge by the hour. Well, you obviously have no idea how that works, because that's not enough. And so that's the story of the reason that everything kind of came to be. And I mean, I guess it's good in a way, because I would have never gone down this road of creating a whole buying group to solve this issue for not just myself, but everyone that's dealing with it in the United States. And I got to tell you, I do have a happy story that was very similar, where this was from a catalog that a sales rep dropped off at my house. Different client, very similar time period, where I was trying to like branch out into not going to the furniture store, trying to test the waters and what this is like. So I tried to source from this catalog a mirror. It was like one of these final end pieces that we needed. And so I call the number on the back. They give me a price. Again, I'm saying, this is my price, right? That's not retail. Yeah, that's your price. Okay. So of course it's more money than what you can find it on Wayfair for, plus they're giving free shipping, and it's going to be at least $100 to ship a mirror that size. It's very heavy. So so this story turns out much happier. And I think the difference between these two, because they happen almost so close to each other and with such a similar storyline, I think the main difference here is that this client and I worked together on everything, very hand in hand, and I was transparent about everything, and she knew it because I would sit there and explain it, and she'd go, okay, let me think about it. 2 days later, I get a check. So instead of being the busy person that can only text you every once in a while, you know, we were able to work hand in hand getting stuff done. So she knew me personally better, knew I wouldn't do anything like that. So anyway, so the mirror comes back much more expensive than I could get it for. I mean, much cheaper, I'm sorry, so much cheaper than I could buy it for. So I'm pissed, right? Like, why would you give me this catalog and tell me this price if I can't even buy it for that? So I told the client, please buy the mirror from Wayfair. I want you to have it. It's the right fit. It's the right color. It's the right size. I looked for a long time to find it. Just buy it from Wayfair. I want you to have it, and we call it done. And I'm sorry, because I had no idea I've been lied to, and I will be throwing away that catalog. So she said, well, I feel really bad because I know you searched for a while to find it. So, and I know that you would make 30% above the cost. So can I please send you a check for the difference from Wayfair price? That's an excellent client. And she did. She sent me a check for whatever it was, $50, $75. But as you know, those $50, $75 checks add up and they mean something. So that is an excellent client. That is the happy ending that, you know, you didn't ruin the relationship. She respects you and your process because she understands. That's an excellent, excellent client. And I've worked with her many times since then, and will probably continue to, because, you know, she had another baby, so we did that room, and then she did the outside. So, you know, this is a client that keeps coming back because that's the end result you really want. You want repeat clients. You don't have to sell them again. They're sold. They love you. They want to work with you again. They're saying, yes, now I need this. So I'll never get that again with the first client I told you about. But tuition. So I hope that this story helps you to understand not just the product that you're sourcing for people, but how you buy it is so important. So next week I will come back on Thursdays, 1 o'clock, to share with you some more Collaborate to Win product knowledge. And I actually don't have a topic picked out, so if you have something in mind, tell me, and I will do some research if I don't know about it already. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you got something out of this. Have a fantastic end of your week. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And okay, bye.